yet saying I am recording? Yes, it has. Okay. Hi. So could you tell me who you are and what role you play at Medway Maritime Hospital?
Absolutely. I'm Jenny Chong, and I sit on the board as a non-exec director. I also chair the Medway Innovation Institute Steering Committee. So you probably gonna ask me when I joined because still look very fresh-faced. So I actually joined Medway in February, and I've been here for, I would say, 8 months, and
Oh,
most of it socially distant.
yeah. So you joined as all of that started.
Absolutely. Literally just joined right before. I think I came to the trust once or twice, and then it was locked down. So since then, I've seen everybody virtually. But alongside Medway, I also wear a number of hats. So I sit on board committees for the Design Museum and also the Egypt Exploration Society. I also work as the head of innovation and analytics for a fintech startup. Plus, I work as a mentor and advisor for Imperial College for their enterprise labs. But my background is actually in investment banking, technology, and specifically big data and artificial intelligence. So Medway is just one of the jobs I have in my portfolio.
Oh, wow. Um, so where are you from and what is your heritage?
So I was actually born in the UK, but when I was 5, my parents decided that it didn't look like me and my sister were very culturally aware. So they lifted the entire family and we moved to Singapore. So that's where I spent most of my childhood, and I grew up and I came back to the UK when I was 16. But in terms of my heritage, my parents are actually from Malaysia, and their own parents came over from southern China after the First World War. And right now, when you're young, you probably don't really appreciate your heritage. But as I get older, I recognize that the core values that have been quite a fundamental foundation for me to grow up on. And now I'm teaching my kids to also appreciate and understand their cultural roots.
Mm. So then what brought you to Medway?
Very much by chance, actually. People ask me that all the time, and like, I guess it's been the right place at the right time. Because if you look at my background, I couldn't be further removed from healthcare. And in fact, I have this phobia of blood. And one of the reasons I actually left investment banking was because I wanted to do something more of my life, something that had a bit more social impact. You know, when you wake up in the morning and go, do I look forward to the rest of my day? And
Mm.
maybe this was one of those kind of light bulb or midlife crisis moments that actually like, not really. So I left investment banking and somehow Medway just happened at the right place at the right time. And I'm really glad I took that leap of faith and to go outside my comfort zone into public healthcare. And I'm really enjoying it.
So what is it that you like about Medway Maritime Hospital?
The people, absolutely the people. When I speak to the staff, be they the clinical, non-clinical, whether in the restaurant, I mean, everybody tells me the same story. They come to work because of the patient. So everyone has that common purpose to improve patient care. And what really strikes me is that that passion absolutely shines through. And I was so proud of just meeting them during the whole COVID crisis because everyone was like, they look tired. You can see in their eyes, you can see in their face. But when they had to meet and when they see a patient and they just light up. They're like, we just go in, we'll just charge them to the battlefield and we do what needs to be done. And at the end of the day, when you see your patient recover, when they have that smile, that thank you, the staff, they're literally just beaming and like they're floating on clouds because of actually delivering that high quality patient's care.
Mm. And with that positive experience in mind, if there was one thing that you could change about the hospital, what would that be?
I would say confidence in the staff. I wish the staff felt that they had the confidence and felt empowered that they themselves personally can bring about change in Medway and to make Medway great. I think if we all made one small change to improve things, that will have a huge impact. So I would say, Medway staff, have that confidence in yourself. You can make a difference, and you
Mm,
just need to feel empowered that you can make that change.
mm. And obviously, you've got a very varied career. Looking at that career as a whole, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced?
I would say being a minority female
Mm,
in investment banking and technology. Um, when I first started on my career, getting my voice heard was very difficult. And looking back, I can see how I consciously de-feminized myself to
mm,
fit in with the environment.
mm,
And as you move further, you're like, I've compromised myself. Why? Why would I do that? I mean, till this day, I do still struggle with things like imposter syndrome. Um, but I know now that I should not let that stop me from progressing. And I think, you know what, actually everybody suffers from imposter syndrome, no
Mm.
matter whether you're female, whether you're male, no matter how high you go, you just have that little voice always asking, am I good enough? Am I more qualified than the person next to me? Do I tick all the boxes to do this job? And actually about 70% of people suffer from imposter syndrome, not just women. So yeah, I think it's actually being that minority and actually recognizing that I should not let that stop me from getting ahead. But it takes you a while. When you're young, you don't always have that confidence.
Yeah. So if you could go back and give a piece of advice to that younger you, what would that be?
Um, I would say mainly don't be afraid to be your authentic self. Positively embrace your difference by turning it to your USP, which is your unique selling point. I mean, if I take myself an example, my accent still very different. It's a mishmash of everything, and I used to be very self-conscious. But you know what? It gets me noticed. It makes me memorable. So when I'm on a conference call, I don't have to waste time announcing myself. People kind of know that's Jenny Chong there. And another example is my feminine instincts. Having worked in investment banking, very male dominated,
Mm.
working technology, again, very male dominated. But I think my feminine instincts make me a more empathetic manager. And thirdly, my international background, having grown up in different cultures, having experience also being outside of my comfort zone in the various jobs I'm doing, I think it gives me an open mind and also gives me different perspectives. So I think, you know what, you might think it's different and you might feel self-conscious about it, but no, turn it around, change the narrative around it and actually make it something that is you and unique to you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. It was a pleasure.